Yo, hello Football 360 Motion. Welcome to my story of the day. Today I want to talk about the aftermath of Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary coach of the Manchester United. After retiring in May 2013, what happened after that? For your information, 10 coaches have managed that club to date, and none of them has had not even half a quarter of the glory that Sir Alex Ferguson did in 26 years. Compared to the time, but again, having built the club to that kind of a level, left that big glory, it was big shoes to fill into. But at least even his own handpicked choice didn't even last an year, And this is how it happened. Immediately after Alex Ferguson left, he picked one uh, former Everton. Actually, he's the current Everton coach. That is David Moyes. He was handpicked by Sir Alex Ferguson. The club had been so gracious enough to let him pick his successor because he had actually coached Everton for I think 12 years before then. He was quite a good coach, and they actually maybe saw that he would have been a good replacement for Alex Ferguson. So they picked him. And funny enough, he picked the reins in July 2013 and up to April 2014. And he's actually labeled as the chosen one, funny enough, because it is Ferguson who did pick him. And the destiny, to cut it short, we would actually generalize it to a cruel one because he only managed 51 games, only won 27. That is a percentage of 53.9 of the wins for all the games that he was actually in charge. Drawn 9 and lost 15. So the win rate being 53 points, that was fairly okay, you would say. But he managed to win them at least a community shield. But the worst thing of it all, the club finished 7th. The following year after Sir Alex Ferguson left, 7th, missing out on European football for the first time in 2 decades. That was not music into Manchester United family. They would not even fathom that. So it took him less than a year to be shown the door, and that one happened in April 2014, and he was in Iraq. You know what? We can't really tolerate this because Manchester United, they were used to winnings, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, and by then the current Carabao Cup, we used to call it Community Shield. Carling Cup then, and they have won it all. Club work, all those they were used to that. Then here comes a coach who cannot even manage to take them to at least Champions League, and they miss it out for the first time after Sir Alex Ferguson. So I think they started facing the music, and it was a little bit not for them. So they picked up the legendary Ryan Giggs, who came in the capacity of an interim manager. He managed only 4 games, won 2, drawn 1, and lost 1. So in some weeks, he was out because they managed to at least secure the services of one philosopher, that is Louis van Gaal, who took reins in 2014 and up to 2016. He had the chance to managed the club for 106 matches, only won 54 of them, drew 27 and lost 22, sorry. He delivered them an FA Cup, that is in 2016, and his style was a little bit rigid, and the Manchester United that we knew then, they weren't used to this. They were used to entertaining football, pressing and all that. So him trying to bring in a boring football to the Manchester family, it was a little bit no, and or anybody else who would feel like, oh, I feel good when I'm watching Manchester United play. They could not, align to that kind of sort of play. So he was shown the door, and then immediately came in the special one. Everybody who has been a football fan knows Jose Mourinho. and he's known much because of what he did at Chelsea. Immediately, that is from 2006 there, 2005, all the way to the time that he resigned and left and all that. And the special one, he had his own style of play, and he managed 144 games, won 84, and drew 32 of them, and lost 28. He brought in Europa League, some, Europa League, League Cup, and Community Shield. That is in 2017. Yet his fire burned too hot that there was things like conflicts and chaos and fractured dressing room that cost him his job. He could not be able to manage the backroom staff, and so making it be so evident even in the field, and that made him to be shown the door. And I was like, you know what, we are so much grateful for the time that you've been with us, and kindly you can go. So the reign of the special, that is Jose Mourinho, ended in 2018, and immediately now we enter to the era, the nostalgia era, and one of their legendary midfielders took the reins. That is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Everybody who used to know Manchester United then can imagine what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was a good player, very fast and all that. He was a good one. And the baby-faced assassin returned, and returned as a savior. He managed 168 games, won 91 of them, drew 37, and lost 40. And he gave fans night of magic, because he tried to bring that taste of what Manchester United fans were used to, even during the reigns of the Sir Alex Ferguson. So, like one example, that was in Paris in 2019, but no trophies and inconsistency, and that one left dreams unfulfilled. And due to that, again, Manchester United felt, you know what? I think we will have to open the door to look for someone else to take the reins and over, and that is what happened. So comes in another familiar face, that is Michael Carrick, who took over in November, and as an interim in an interim capacity, November to December, that is of 2021. Another legendary, managed 3 games or lost won 2, never lost any, but drew 1. That was a good one for an interim coach. Then we come into the modern struggle of the Manchester United. Ralf Rangnick come in and is in an interim capacity as well. And was it an interim capacity? I don't think so, but it was a short-lived moment. So he took over in 2021, that is December, all the way to the 2022, actually the end of that season, the 2021-2022 season. And he was actually called the Professor of Pressing. And he managed 29 games and 11 wins, 10 draws, and 8 losses. And his ideas never really took root. And United limped to all the way to the end of the season. They were like, it was a horrible moment, and and he restored that, what we call, it was just a normal season, which had no anything to be proud of. Now they are disciplinarian, Eric Ten Hag, and this was a coach who managed 144 games, won only 68, drew 15, and lost 31. He restored discipline, won Carabao Cup in 2023, reached the FA Cup, and but inconsistency and dressing room chaos, one that was faced during the special one moments, are also some of the main reasons that made him to be shown the door. Then comes in the just immediate coach, who is Ruben Amorim, the former Sporting CP coach, who was bold in experience, and then only managed 14 months, 12 14 months, and he had that moment for him, and his actually percentage compared to other people was very, very, in fact, it said that his time in Manchester was like he was the worst manager who ever managed Manchester United ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And the 10-men chapter, each chasing impossible shadows of Sir Alex Ferguson. Some brought trophies, some didn't, and others even brought tears. And but together, they they tell a story of the Manchester United relentless decade, and a club forever searching for its next true king still continues. We still keep on to see what they're gonna bring in next, because this is not the Manchester United Manchester fans or even anybody who have been a football fan from then was accustomed to or was used to. And let's hope that at least they're gonna find a replacement, because it's gonna be a hard one. Although we are saying that we have two contenders. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks to be coming back, also actually ongoing, and maybe in the next few days we are gonna see. Here we go, that they've been able to find a replacement who will be able to take the reins and see whether they're gonna restore glory in Manchester. And please don't forget to hit that subscription button if you truly like what I do, so that we can be able to grow this community football. Thank you for your time.